Hi guys, my name is Andrea. I'm going to be working with your warm-up today, and we're going to start with some good, easy, good old-fashioned toe taps. And I know that these aren't quite as fun, so if you want to make it a little bit more fun, you can get your hips into it, kind of really work it in there. And for us to elevate our heart rate, we're going to at least get our hands above our heart level, and you can even get them up. If you want to make it real fun, you can get some snaps in it. Just make it get started really nice. Keep working, there you go. Nice. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep doing these toe taps just to keep our body moving, but then we're gonna move into arm circles. So you can do some small little ones. You can work your way up to some big rotations, just depending on how your shoulders feel, your range of motion, that'll be your intensity level. Nice work. And then we are going to stop and rotate backwards. There you go. Get those smaller ones in there if you need. And then we are just going to keep doing these toe taps, and we are going to actually work our way into working our biceps. So what you're going to do is flip your hands upside down, have your thumbs pointing down, kind of squeeze your scapula together, and really feel it in those biceps. Just hold it. Keep with those toe taps. If it's getting too much for you guys, you're more than welcome to stop and just kind of work there and push down. Okay, and then we are gonna keep doing those toe taps. Now, we're gonna get that pectoralis major getting warmed up. You're gonna take your hands, put them behind you, push down and push those scapula together and puff out that chest. And just hold it there. There you go. Nice work. Okay. We're going to do it. We're going to move on to a bending side stretch here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're going to make sure you're keeping your spine neutral. You don't want to be bending over. We're going to take your right arm, reach it far over your head, as far as you can. You can bend down, or you can take your other arm and then just hold it on your side and really feel those obliques. And just hold it there, and then make sure you breathe in. And then we can go breathe out. Okay. Nice work, and now we're going to do it to the opposite side. Take your left arm, reach far over your head, reach down, or you can be holding those obliques there. Make sure you're keeping that neutral spine. Nice work. Keep going, and there you go. So next we're going to be doing some crossover lunges. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your left foot, get a slight bend to it, and then you're going to take your opposite foot and then cross it across your body and just kind of lean into it, but keeping that neutral spine again. You can definitely feel it in your abductors, and really just lean into it, or abductors, yeah. Go. Just keep going. Make sure you're not getting your knee over your toes. You don't want to be leaning too far forward. Okay. Now we're going to switch. So take your right foot, put a slight bend in it. Don't want to get too far down there. And then however far you can reach your foot across, that is going to be your range of motion. If you can get it out farther, you're going to be definitely feeling it in your hamstrings more. If you can't get that far out there, you can bring it in closer to your body and then just kind of lean into it a little bit more while keeping that neutral spine. Nice work. Okay, we're going to switch into some lunges here in a second. We're going to do some lunges with some bicep curls, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so what we want to do is for our lunges, we're going to make sure that we're not getting our knee over our toes, and we are going to try to get down as far as you can. I know it will be too much for you guys, so if you can't, you don't have to get into that 90 degree, but just make sure you're reaching back far enough. And then we're going to do some bicep curls, and we're going to do it 5 times on each side. So we're just going to go down and then bicep curl it up when we push up. Okay, and then we go down, and bicep curl. And then down, bicep curl. Make sure you're not leaning over with your back, keeping that neutral spine again. And we're gonna do one more. Down, and up. Nice work. Now we're gonna switch. Okay. Get your balance there, and then go down and up. Down, up. And then after this, we're gonna switch to a different type of lunge where we're gonna be pushing our heel, driving it down to the ground as best as you can. And we'll do one more. And up. Okay. So it's pretty much like our lunges. We're gonna be taking our foot out there, make sure our knees are not going over our toes. But instead of just doing our normal lunge, we're gonna be driving that opposite leg, that heel into the ground. And feel in those calves and kind of lean into it. There you go. And then keep that neutral spine, don't be bending over. We wanna keep it up. And just go lean into it, there you go. Okay, we'll switch. Same thing, drive that heel down and feel in those calves. Get a nice stretch there we go. Okay, now we are gonna work into one more lunge. It's gonna be working on our adductors. You're gonna get down on one knee. You're gonna work that leg out that is up, and you're going to lean into it and push into that leg. If this is too big of an angle, you can just get into smaller angles, or if you want a bigger stretch, get into that bigger angle. Really lengthen that body. Okay, now we're gonna switch. Lean into it. Let's get a nice, good, big breath in before we switch into some cat and cows. And then breathe out. Okay. Let's switch to that cat and cows. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get on your hands and knees. Make sure your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. You don't wanna be working your way out too far. Just keeping that spine neutral. You don't wanna be too far out and too close. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go into a cat and tuck that chin to your chest as best as you can and really feel that stretch. So we're gonna breathe in and we're gonna alternate into that cow position. And then breathe out. And then we're going to lift our chin to the sky as high as you can. Really feel that stretch. You can definitely feel it in your core. Just make sure you're bringing it in tight. And then we'll switch back into that cat. Tuck that chin to your chest, breathe in. And breathe out into the cow. There you go. One more. And then breathe out. So now that we are on our hands and knees, we are gonna actually go right into bird dogs. So you're gonna take your right arm and then opposite leg, so your left leg, and reach it out. And try to make that one long line between your arms, your back, and your legs. And then we're gonna switch. To really ump that intensity, you can bring it in after you go out, and you're gonna tuck in your elbow and bring your knee up to your chest and kind of do a crunch. There's that higher intensity for you. And then switch arms and legs. Go again. Keeping everything all along one line. You can bring it in, or we'll just go back to normal. One more on each side. Just got right leg and left arm out. And then we got one more on the other leg. Okay, nice work. So now we are gonna go into a frog pose since we're on our knees already. You're going to widen your stance, or your base with your knees, and you're gonna drive that butt down to the ground. But you wanna work your way out with your hands as far as you can for that higher or lower intensity. If you wanna get it out here, if that's too much, you can bring your knees in where it's not hurting as much and just kind of go into that child's pose-ish and lean back. And we're just gonna hold it there for about 10 seconds. Make sure we're breathing in and out. Okay, hold it for a couple more seconds. Okay, nice work. So now that we're here on the ground, we're gonna switch to our butts and our glutes, and we are gonna be doing some hamstring stretches. So you're gonna have one leg out, you're gonna bring the opposite leg into your side, and you're just gonna work your way out to your toes. Some people can't touch the toes, just go as far as you can and just lean into it, but you don't wanna be going to the point of discomfort, just where you can actually feel that stretch. And then if you guys want to take one deep breath in, and then just go a little bit farther if you can out. There you go. You can definitely feel in those hamstrings in the back. We're going to hold it there for a little bit more, and then we will switch legs. Okay. So now we're going to our left leg. We have our arm reaching out. Just holding it there. And then let's all take one more big deep breath in. And then reach just a little bit farther if you can. Hold it. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's switch now to our quads. So now that we're down here, let's flip to our back. And you're going to take your left leg, bring it back to the side. See if you can grab it with your hand. If you can, it's totally fine. And your range of motion with driving either your knee down to the ground, it will be a higher intensity for you. If it's getting too uncomfortable, you can lift it up a little bit more and just feel that stretch right here in the top of your leg on your quads. We'll just hold it there and we can relax, take a nice little deep breath in, and breathe out. It's a nice little resting one. And then let's switch legs. Let's get our right leg going. Bring it on back and see if you can grab it with your hand, and then drive that knee down to the ground. And then just make sure you're trying to keep your scapula on the back. We don't want to be like rotating, just keeping it right there, nice and easy. And then we're going to switch to windshield wipers here in 3, 2, 1. So now that we're already on our back, we're going to lay our hands out to the side. You want to keep them right along the heart line. And bring your knees up, and just make sure you're keeping your scapula on the back. Or on the ground. You're going to rotate your legs to the side as far as you can, driving it down to the mat, and then bring it back up, and then do the opposite side. So one thing, if you want to up the intensity, we can reduce that angle for you and bringing your legs out more to the side. It's going to work more of your core, and then you can kind of rotate as well. You can, if you have a mat like me, you can kind of hold on to the side just a little bit to get yourself a little bit more hold in position, so that way you're not moving your back as much. We're going to do it 2 more times on each side. Really make sure you're driving the scapula to the back of the mat. Okay, one more. And then we are going to switch into the 4 pose. And then one more. Nice work. Okay, since we're still on our back, we are going to take our right leg, bring it over the top of your left, take your arms, and then make sure you grab that left leg and pull it in. You can feel it right there in the glutes, and just hold it there. However far you bring it in is going to be your intensity level. And then we are going to switch. So now take your right leg out and take your left leg over that right leg. Grab the right and pull it on in. And then just hold it there. Let's take some nice good breaths in and some breaths out. Okay, last thing while we are on our back, we are going to do some glute bridges. So you want to make sure your palms are facing down on the mat right next to you, and you're going to drive that pelvis to the sky as high as you can and squeeze at the top. You can feel it in the glutes too and the hamstrings, and we're going to go back down. One way we can increase some intensity, if you're feeling it, is that we can put our leg up in the sky with it and drive it up. Or we can even do some calf raises. Go up and then lift those calves. And then make sure we're just keeping that back on the mat. We don't want to get it up too high. We're going to keep going for a couple more. And we're going to switch into push-ups. So let's drive it up to the sky. Let's do 2 more. Okay. Drive it, hold it there for a couple seconds. Just feel it. Down, and then let's do 1 more. And drive. There we go. Nice work. Okay, so now that we're on the ground, we're going to flip over to our stomachs, and we're going to get into some push-ups. So there's many ways that we can do some push-ups today. If you're wanting to get up into that more intense feeling, we can do some wider stance push-ups. You can go on your knee or your toes. You can bring it in and do some narrow push-ups. If you're like me, I need a lower intensity, so I'm going to go on my knees, but we want to make sure we're not doing tabletops. We want to make sure we get that neutral spine, but make sure those hands are underneath the shoulders. You're going to go down and up. Push-ups aren't the greatest. Nobody likes push-ups as much, but let's just make sure we're getting down there and pushing back up. We don't want to just do a couple little ones. Let's do 2 more. 1 and 2. So now that we are down on the ground, we're going to kind of go into downward facing dog, and we're going to do an inchworm on the way back up. Just go as slow as you can. So you're kind of tabletop. You can either bring your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. I'm going to walk it in, and not everyone can touch their toes like me, so we're going to kind of bend our knees a little bit and work our way back up. Okay. So now that we are up here, let's do some calf raises. You can either do them flat on the ground, or if you wanted a little bit higher of intensity, you can find an elevated surface where you are going to be doing calf raises up and down. But we are also going to throw in some triceps. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your right arm, throw it over your back. Make sure you're not grabbing those elbows. You want to make sure you kind of get on the outside. You can get your forearm, and then you can just do some calf raises and hold it in there. Okay, let's do 3 more, and then we're going to switch arms. 2 and 3. Okay, now let's go to the left arm. Throw it over the back. If this is too much for you, you can also just make sure you're trying to touch it in the back. Kind of get as much close as you can. We'll do some more calf raises. Nice work. Get as high as you can up to that sky. Don't go as fast as you can, just you can make it kind of slow. Nice work. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. So let's throw in some balance activities. So what we're going to do, you can either grab a partner, a wall, whatever you are comfortable with, and we are going to do a hamstring curl. You're going to keep your left leg on the ground. Bring your hamstring back. You can either grab it if you would like, or just keep it there, and then you're going to kick it out and do it like you're kicking a ball. And then if you need to do kind of regain your balance, you can go back down and then repeat. And then kick out. If you need some more balance as well, if you're not grabbing onto anything, you can put your arms out to the side. You can grab your hips and just work on that. Let's do 2 more, and we're going to switch legs. Okay, nice work. Now let's go to the other one. I'm going to go right leg on the ground, hamstring curl, and extension. Hamstring curl and extension. Let's just do 3 more, and then we are going to go into some jumping jacks. Nice work. Okay. So some good jumping jacks. For a lower impact on, say, your knees, you can go out to the side or you can just do your normal jumping jacks, but make sure we're getting our hands above your heart line, so that way you're at least increasing your heart rate. And let's go. Nice work. Let's do it for about 10 more seconds, and we're going to finish it off with some running in place. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to do some jogging for about 20 seconds, just whatever you can get to, and then for the last 10 seconds, you're going to really drive those knees up and do kind of some high knees while running in place. So, okay, ready? Let's do some jogging. Ready? 3, 2, and 1. So we got some jogging in place. Before we get into there, let's make sure that we're breathing in and out. Okay, we're going to switch to those high knees here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's go. Push. Nice work. Come on, come on, come on. You're almost done. You can start your workout. 3, 2, 1. Nice work, guys. I know it was a long one, but thank you for joining my workout or my warm-up, and go have fun working out.